Hello and welcome to another Den of Iniquity. This week, this guy, known as Giz, is going to be talking about something interesting. So interesting, in fact, that I'm going to be honest, I'm waiting gleefully to see Greeny's expression. Okay, so here's the deal. We all talk about the fact that, a lot of the films, there's, crossovers and verses. I mean, DC are going through the whole bother of Superman versus Batman, Dawn of Justice, and we've got the Avengers. Apparently, there's rumors that there might be versus films coming out in the future, and all this and all that. And, we've seen how Alien versus Predator went. Bit of a downpour. There's always been another interesting line in comics whereby you have stuff that you wouldn't normally see crossing over. You get Doctor Who, Star Trek, personal favourite, X-Men, Star Trek, another personal favourite, Star Wars, Star Trek, which apparently is rumoured to be done into a film. I want that one to settle with you there for a minute, lads, because apparently that's one of the latest rumours to be circulating, that J.J. Abrams is all excited since, he's helming Star Trek and he's helming Star Wars, that apparently he wants to do a crossover. People are eagerly anticipating the internet to go, oh my god, you can't be doing that kind of crap. All I have to say is, you shouldn't do that, you idiot! At least not in film format. What's worse is, you're retconning everything from Star Wars? Are you tools trying to sabotage yourselves? Or did someone just have an epiphany and decide, hey, guess what? We're in control of everything, let's just fuck the galaxies. These things work fine in theory, crossovers I mean, in the comics. Don't even think about getting rid of all the continuity of fucking 30 odd years, you idiots, in either thing. However, translating them over into the film, visually speaking, might be awesome, because hey, who doesn't want to see a lightsaber being wielded around the deck of the Enterprise? But realistically speaking, it wouldn't work, and here's why. You have two deep-seated nerd cultures that, for the most part of 20 years, were, as antagonistic as, any jock culture that you might ever meet. And now all of a sudden you're thinking about mending Liverpool and Manchester United into one team. I know it says versus, but let's face it, it's going to be intermixed, and that's, on paper, yeah, it looks great. In actuality, wow, was that ever a dumb idea? Go ahead, Abrams. You write your X-Men versus your Star Trek versus Star Wars. Please do. Get someone turned into a comic. Get it turned into a series of comics. Rock on. Because guess what? Comic books have got a greater acceptance for this kind of thing than your cinematic audience will. Because let us not forget, both of these franchises started with cinematic audiences. Most people know these things because of the films, not because of the books or the comics that were spawned after them, which expanded stuff. To a lesser degree, yes, the cartoon series, definitely whatever TV shows have been done for Star Trek, that perpetuated. I mean, hell, it started as a TV show, then we got the films. You get my point. It's always been a visual-based media that is the canon of these things. Obviously, books are written into the canon. Obviously, as far as Star Wars is concerned, a lot of the comic books are considered to be canon. All of this is a lush history. The same can be said about a lot of Star Trek stuff. Now, while it might work for you to combine these things into a comic book, or into a book, or into any format you can think of, I'm fucking telling you now, you morons, it will not work visually. Because at the end of the day, all you're going to have is a bunch of people expecting the greatest show on earth, that are going to be getting something that's visually fantastic, but if it touches the texture and the history that's already developed, it will crumble the base that all of this popularity is built on. Yeah, down the line you'll have guys going, oh, we're still fans and blah blah blah, and yeah, down the line you have people going, wow, that made loads of money. But in the end, for a guy that has resurrected both franchises, I'm being optimistic here, Abrams, about what you're going to do with Star Wars, based on what you've done with Star Trek. For you to have resurrected this stuff, and now to be contemplating ruining it by mashing it together, I don't want to say ham-handedly, but let's face it, that's what it's going to come down to. Don't do it, man. It will be a disaster. Write a comic book series, write a book series. Hell, I'd even accept a bit of an anime short done in some OAV manga style. Man, for anyone that missed it, by the way, someone did a TIE Fighter Star Wars thingy, animated. It is freaking awesome. Any of these media outlets would happily accept and be accepted as a crossover. But touching the notion of an actual full-on live film, I don't think it would work. I don't think it would be a good idea, and I think it is a very real threat to the core fan base, the loyalty that is eagerly anticipating, waiting to see what you're going to do with just Star Wars. We've seen Star Trek, man. We're waiting for Star Wars. Don't cock it up by letting us think that you're going to cock it all up. Please. End of discussion.